Hi, this is 31 Days of Michael, a book expressing layers of grief. And I am on poem June to December. I'm the author of the book, and here's June to December and my commentary of why this poem was written this way. So, June to December, I bargained for time. June to November, maybe a holiday, a meal, a moment. Will that have been enough? October, the candy, the punch. September, too soon. Or is it just right? Could I have convinced God to hold you longer? Don't sleep. Don't snooze. Don't wait too long. I hear God takes late calls, but doesn't favor them much. Would he tell us? Too young, too early. Too late? You were 7. I had just turned 9. Was there a right time to pray? July. Maybe July? A call, a lifeline. Would he care if we fumbled the words? Would he remind us of Jonah, the tree, and how little we knew? I was wrong to stretch your months, to count forward when time was already spent. I should have known. June 1999, your body laid to rest. So, June to December,
Okay, so I had to take a break and get a better sense of scenery. When you see me looking down, I'm looking back at the poem, and what I can tell you is, once again, like, it's no joke. Like, June to December is one of those poems that it really gets to me. So I had to stop for a second. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced when a loved one has a sickness or an illness, anything that's stopping them from being themselves, and you're trying to bargain for time. But when I was a kid, I used to think, like, the more I put into praying and trying to get things right for, like, not even trying to be perfect, but live a perfect life and do all the things right, so my prayers would be heard. It kept happening, and then I would be like, I just want my brother to pray. I just wanted us to just, like, maybe if we ask for the time. I mean, we didn't know enough spiritually, so that's where the lines of, like, do we know enough, like with Jonah, and do we know enough about the tree? Because you remember with Jonah, not with Jonah, but with, he went into Nineveh, and then he came out. He was a prophet, and the tree grows up, and the Lord does it to give him shade, and then the tree dies because a worm is eating it. And so I was talking about the tree because I remember learning, like, those little Sunday school stories at church, and it just always felt like we didn't know enough or have enough to know, like, what can we do to get God's trust, for God to love us. In my head, and for us as kids, it just seemed like I wanted to know everything I could know to be as close as God as I could become, and that was the extent of my spiritual knowledge. And it didn't work. It didn't work, not because I didn't know enough and we weren't spiritually inclined, and none of that. It didn't work because it was God's will, and that's what this comes into. It wasn't about being too early or too late. My brother didn't care about any no candy or nothing like that. Like, he was experiencing, I don't even want to say a grown-up trial. He was experiencing a trial that, even though there's millions of people, it's still very few that go through sections of cancers. And for him, it was brain cancer, and so young. So I know it's millions of people that go through this process, this illness, this disease. So I'll leave it there. I just wanted to at least talk about the commentary and talk about just talk about it a little bit more in depth. And of course, he passed away in 1999, June. I left the dates, the timestamps on every single picture that I could, so you can see. So, okay, up next.